Welcome back to Live at the Range with John and Chris this time. So where is Ron?
I don't know. He's playing. He's playing in the back.
Is he playing hooky?
I'm guessing. I don't know. And these things are nice.
Oh yeah,
really nice.
Is that the We the People?
Yeah, the We the Peoples.
And that 238, 938, and 1911.
1911. Yeah. So we're gonna do a big deal for these next month, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
So, what kind of stuff we got going on this week?
Well, we just did customer appreciation.
It was a huge success.
Yes, and
some of us weren't decided to take off, huh, John?
Yes, I took off to go to my in-laws' 50th wedding anniversary. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
So
we know that you had a great time.
Absolutely.
Not as much as fun as we had. But I want to say a couple of things, though, for a couple of guys came out. Tommy Lovelace, thank you for coming out, brought canines, did some dog biting things. I know that it was a big buzz inside, making sure they didn't miss the event because they wanted to see that. So a lot of customers really thought that was really cool. St. Louis PD came out with their canine team, did a small little thing. So that was pretty awesome. They had the SWAT team out here as well for a while. So I want to give a big shout out to all those guys.
Yep,
Right On had a guy out. The rep for Right On was here all day. Lots of explaining on the different optics and some of the pros and cons and benefits of those. So I want to give big shout out to him. Mike Odell.
Have we shown the Right On optics on the show yet?
We have. It was last week. I think it was last week we did the Right On stuff. And things are really cool.
Yeah,
really cool.
You and I were on, so yeah, I think that was last week.
Yeah. Or 2 weeks ago, one of them. We've got some other videos we got planned for those as well. Kind of an in-depth video on just what some of those optics are. Cool stuff on those. CMMG, Mike Odell came out. He brought the Mutant and the 22 and the 5.7. So lots of guys got the chance to shoot that. I know there's quite a few people that got to shoot that.
Supposedly shoots really nice.
Oh, it's so nice. So nice. The weird thing about it with we use brass case ammo here instead of the steel case, so it was a little different with the Mutant running brass, and for some reason it seemed to be a slower rate of fire, but super controllable. We had one guy literally drew a circle with it. This thing keeps falling down, but he literally just started shooting, and then he just ended up doing a circle, and he's like, "This thing shoots so nice. I think I could write my name." That was really cool.
It may take more than one mag to do that, though.
Probably. Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how much of an extendo. If you get one of them big old extendo banana corn,
150 round. Is that one of the full semi-automatic?
The fully semi-automatic
magazines?
clips.
Right.
30
That's what they call it.
What is it? 30
the
seconds
fully
per round?
semi-automatic clip, I believe is what one of the congressmen called it. So.
Even trying to make fun of them, it just you get all tongue tangled in between trying to make fun of them because what they say is so out of the norm. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, Operation Food Search.
Yep.
So they came and picked it up, and I want to do a big shout out to all of our members, all of our customers that dropped off cans. It was awesome. They were hoping for like 10-ish barrels, which Dustin and Sam were saying we probably won't need that many. Well, we filled that up and had stacks of food and canned goods next to it. It looked
like it was about 18 barrels worth.
Yeah, so we're still waiting for final numbers, but I know that watching the guys load it into their van, as I was walking by, I was like, man, you guys need a hand? Like, no, you guys have done enough. You guys, this is a huge turnout. So they were really excited. I know we've got a couple of pictures of it, but holy cow.
So it's interesting. So I think the first year we did it with them, they brought us 5 barrels, and we doubled that. So this year they brought us 10, and it looked like it was pretty close to doubling that.
Yeah.
So are they bringing 20?
That's what they said. Dustin told them no, and that might just be too many barrels. So we'll just stack it up real tall again, and we'll just fill up rooms and stuff.
Ooh, that should be a goal. A long-term goal is to fill this room.
Well, not
4 feet
completely
high.
because this is our sim room.
Well, I know, but like that at volume.
But we could like fill a room. We'll have to.
So, Sam's office, she never uses it.
No, thank you.
There you go.
I already shared.
We'll just cut it off Sam and Ron, and we'll just fill their half, and then just leave my desk alone.
Not happening.
We'll work on that.
I
We'll
see
work on it.
Dustin's. I mean, he's not even here to defend himself.
There we go.
Yeah, but
But that would be
bothers
that would be
Phil.
part of Phil's office, so we don't want to
We'll
do
do
that.
like an
so.
igloo where like he steals like a tunnel into his desk and we'll just build around.
All right.
We may be
So
able
we
to do
raised a
that.
lot of food. We really appreciate everybody
Yes.
who came out and dropped off cans. And we gave away 3 guns in the process of doing that.
Yes, and it happened to work out that all 3 of the winners happened to be here at the
Here,
time.
that's awesome.
One was down on the range, one was outside, but
That's
gathered
awesome.
them all back up. But they actually all 3 were here that same day. So that was really exciting. Let's see what else we got on that. Yeah, so we got a couple of other things coming up. We got the IDPA match on Thursday, tomorrow night. So if you, I know there's been a couple of people that have been like, oh, I kind of want to go out to, come on out, 16 bucks and a couple of stages. Dustin normally tries to get 3 to 4, and I know that at times we've gone as high as 5 different
Yep.
stages. So ton of fun there. We've got basic handgun this weekend. Next week we got guys and guns on Monday. And then Tuesday, everybody, I don't care who, but you need to get out and vote.
You got to vote.
Need to get out and vote. We're going so far to try and get as many people as we can to vote that if you come in with your I voted sticker, you're gonna get free range, free lane, and 15% off the We the Peoples and 5% off any firearm. So you're literally looking at being able to bring this one home for under $1,200. $1,200.
15% off that? Oh my goodness. So you guys concocted this while I was gone, right?
Yeah. Remember how you were saying like sometimes I just got to do stuff and
Yeah,
then I'll
yeah, I
get
knew
yelled
that
at if not?
bite me later on.
I mean, yeah. So
That's great. 15% off We the People. It's a great gun. It's a SIG. It's a 1911. But a lot of people don't know this, but SIG is an American company now. They moved their headquarters here, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's
And they've been
just
doing a lot of really cool stuff. The new, having won the M17 award, or contract, and getting that. There's plenty of back and forth you can go on that, but one of the things I think that SIG really is doing, a step up is trying to make it as a feel good effort. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers, they built 4 of those pistols specifically for them with all kinds of trick stuff. I mean, the wood that they used is from the ship that brought the Unknown over. They have marble from the tomb embedded into the front sight. All kinds of different engravings and stuff. So, I mean, not only does SIG build a really nice gun, despite what style you're looking at, really good guns, they're trying to go the extra mile for people, and I think that's really what we kind of got to do nowadays is go that extra mile and show that we really do care.
No,
So-
I agree. SIG is a great company. So
Yeah, so neat stuff. Like I said, save a bunch of money, put one of these things in the safe. We got, get some extra sleep on Sunday, daylight savings, don't forget about that. And Halloween tonight, make sure everybody's safe, watch those kids.
yeah, make sure you and your kids have lights on if you're going out, and there may be a little bit of weather. It may rain a little bit. So, but you say we will be open till 7 tonight.
Yep.
So if you don't trick or treat, you don't want to do that, you can come and shoot.
Yeah, we got the Halloween 3-gun shoot.
Today's the last day for that.
Pistols,
That's right.
shotguns, and rifles. That's been a pretty good hit. Got quite a few people that have been downstairs doing that. It's a lot of fun shooting that. And then if you come in costumes today, and yes, it qualifies as a costume. We got extra freebies as well. So come in and shoot that.
No masks. Yes.
No mask. Yes.
Leave the mask. Costume
No
great.
mask.
Mask not so good. So.
Yeah.
You might get a more aggressive response if you come in a mask. Than what
True.
you're wanting, so.
True. Definitely. So let's see what else. So
Mark Cox, Responder Rescue.
yes,
Yep.
Mark Cox is doing a real cool deal for November, reaching out to kind of bring some awareness to the first responders that are helping out. So each day, I think it's each day, they're going to pick out a different group, and he's going to do some of that stuff. So we've teamed up with them. You'll see this stuff starting, I believe, tomorrow on all that on his end. So in response to that, plus our member bonus, the bunker bonus, we're doing a simulator challenge.
Okay.
So in the sim challenge, you'll go in. We've got one of the carnival shoots.
Steel targets.
Yeah, steel targets.
Timed.
So you'll come in here, time targets, fastest times. We're giving away stuff. So
What are we giving away?
at least the top 10 we'll be giving away stuff. Some of the items that we'll be doing is a ride-on magnifier, crossbreed holster, popper bag, new out the front light or a knife. Enforce light, do some hats, shirts, mugs. So come out, members get one chance at that one on a freebie. And then we're asking for a $5 donation. Everybody can shoot this thing. Everybody can compete. And we really want everybody
But members
to
shoot it
compete.
for free.
Members shoot it for free. Anybody else, $5. All of that is being donated to Responder Rescue. Great organization. They're local to the St. Louis area. They are 501c, so the money you give them goes to other people.
And they have a really high percentage of what gets paid out to their actual beneficiaries. versus
And they actually
overhead.
step in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously Backstoppers helps out with families once something hits that unfortunate spot, but Responder Rescue actually helps out with even things like paying bills when they get sick, injured, and stuff that takes them away from being able to do their daily duties. They kind of step in and help those guys until they can get back up on their feet. So it's really kind of a neat deal that they're doing.
You know, and it's things like this synagogue shooting that we had this past week.
Right.
You see, I mean, you probably listened to some of the audio tape from the 9/11 call, but you hear what I'm saying. We need every available unit in the area to respond, and you know, these are the guys and gals that run towards
They run
the
towards
gunfire,
the
and I know
problem.
that there were 3 or 4 of them that were injured.
3 of them, yeah.
3 of them that were shot in the process of doing that. And so, you know, and same thing with our firefighters. They run into the burning building, right? You know, EMTs or our military. So it's just, we just can't do enough for those guys and gals and support them because, you know, they don't make the big bucks.
Right.
You know, they don't do it for the big bucks. So
they don't, and they don't do it for the fame and the notoriety because they don't really get much fame and notoriety. Unfortunately, lately, it's
unfortunately,
been
if they
a lot
get
of
fame, it's the
negative.
wrong kind of fame. So
Yeah. So we want to step beyond that. We want to step into where we can offer them something, even if it's just a helping hand, some discounted training time, something.
Right.
We just want to see what can we do to help them out, to give our thanks for letting us be free and make our own choices, even if they're not necessarily the smartest choices.
Yes, in America, you are free to make dumb choices.
Yes, you can make all the dumb choices you want as long as you don't dumb choice into somebody else's.
Yeah,
choice.
as long as it doesn't affect other people. So.
Right.
All right, so that's with Mark Cox, 97.1.
Yes, Mark Cox, 97.1, awesome guy as well.
Yeah.
So you brought up the Tree of Life Synagogue. I want to bring up, there's actually been a couple of those hero stories that come out of them. One that kind of caught my eye was, there was a family medical practitioner, a surgeon, I want to say.
Yep.
But he was actually in Bible study in a totally separate room and came running outside to offer aid and help to those once he heard what was going on. He heard the shots being fired and was actually shot down outside. He is one of the victims of that, but it just goes to show there are people that are out there in the midst of everything that are still offering a helping hand, even when unfortunately for him, because of the situation, he wasn't armed, but I mean, he still ran towards that
Yeah, well,
problem.
he was trying to offer
So,
aid to the people who were injured.
Yeah, so not the only story from there, but it's one of the ones that kind of jumped out and made me go, wow, that shows there's good
So
people.
that was Dr. Jerry Rabinowitz.
I'm glad you wanted to say that name because I was just
Apologize
trying
if
to
I
keep away from
mispronounced that. I am from Tennessee originally, so English is my second language. Definitely hero, and there's others in there that did similar type efforts, and that's just, we saw the same thing with Vegas. It just shows what America is about, because when things like this happen, you have all these people, and not just the first responders, all these other people say, "Here, I'm here to help," and we'll offer that help. And so that's just, it just can't do enough for our first responders, but we really appreciate all the civilians who aren't tasked with doing that also respond accordingly. So.
Right. Those that step up when it's needed.
All right. Other stuff going on. You showed me a thing this morning from Wilson Combat.
Yes.
So if you don't know, we are now a Wilson Combat Elite dealer. If you haven't seen any of their firearms, come in and check them out because they're just fantastic firearms.
Come and check out the ones we have left.
Yes.
Which
so we
really
sold through quite a few of them. We got more ordered.
Obviously, people love those things.
Yes. If you've never held any of their guns, as soon as you pick it up, you know why. It's a $1,500 or a $2,000 or a $3,000 gun because it is different.
They are very reasonable for what they are, though.
Oh,
What they bring to the table is not your average everyday firearm.
So absolutely.
It's a nicely refined.
I've shot dozens of Beretta 92s in different configurations and everything else. I would say I own dozens, but my wife might watch this show, so I can't say that.
Right.
But when you pick up that Wilson Beretta, it's automatically different. It's just you know the difference straight away. Yeah, it's like it's working on warm butter. It's just so smooth and so anyway, come check those out. But the whole thing was you brought up the story of
the 300 Hammr. People are asking, well,
what is it?
So in a nutshell, it's another one of those twisted thoughts that I guess Bill had, that Bill Wilson had, that was like, I want something that is like a 30-30, but a modern 30-30, something that feeds into one of those scary black rifles and makes that black rifle now become something that is a much more, in his mentality or his wording maybe, is more of a viable option for the AR-15 platform. So he came out, they designed this 300 Hammr, which is similar to the 300 Blackout, not exactly, but biggest question was, is it going to work?
Yep.
So was it Bill and Ryan Wilson went out and they just took 2 bull elks, I think a 3x4 and a 4x5, or a 3x5 and a 4x5, something. But 2 bull elk, one at like 129 yards, complete pass through on the chest cavity, and then one that was at 175, yep. That was a quartering away, which all you hunters know that's not the easiest shot. It is a great shot to take, but it's not necessarily the easiest to get a complete pass through. So they did find the projectile, went from 150, I think it was 150
down to 139.
Yeah. So it lost a whole 11 grand as it went plowing through this 1,200 pound mass of. And
I think neither one of those bull elks went more than about 20 yards.
Yeah,
or so.
Like 15 or 20 yards, both of them, and then dropped. So
to give you an example, I got the ballistics here. So a 300 Blackout, 150 grain Federal Fusion round moves out at about 1,900 feet per second. So the 150 Hammr moves out at 2240. And when you get into the lighter grains, 110 Hornet EV Max is at 2395, and 110 Hammr is at 2600. So you're getting about 2 to 250 more feet per second, which really means a couple of hundred, pounds per square inch of additional
I mean, you really are
energy out of it, and that's just phenomenal. And it's about 50% flatter.
See, now you're
inside
getting
of a
into
couple
that
hundred
30
yards.
caliber round. I mean,
30 caliber, 150 grain round. So you're getting, compared to a 223, you're getting almost 3 times the mass, but you're still moving at about
almost the same speed.
About 2/3 of the velocity. So
almost
it's a
the
lot
same,
more
really.
energy.
I mean, some of them 223.
Well, 223, 556, typically,
even
the heavier stuff would be in the 2,800 foot.
Mid 25 to 2,800.
So you're getting at 2,240.
Yeah. So
that's pretty impressive.
Fairly close, and a lot more mass. And I mean.
So we've got some of these rounds here. We've actually got an AR or 2 from Wilson on the wall. They did send me that cartridge, so that cartridge will be available from other manufacturers outside of Wilson. So it's just a great cartridge, and those 2 bull elk kills absolutely show the effectiveness of that round.
Right.
So you basically get a 30-30 that you can reach out to about 300 yards pretty effectively with in an AR-15 platform.
Right.
So.
With some serious stopping power.
Yeah.
Serious
Oh, yeah.
stopping power. So.
I mean, I grew up in Tennessee. Most people, if you were hunting and I was growing up, you hunted with a 30-30.
I think
in fact, going to school, most guys had a 30-30 and a Remington 870 in the gun rack on the back of the truck window, right? Nobody ever thought anything of it. Nowadays, you cannot do that at school.
No.
But and getting a deer during deer season was an excused absence for the first 2 periods. You just had to bring your tag. So, I mean,
in the 30-30, I think there's more deer that have been killed in North America
probably
with the 30-30
everything
than
put
anything
together.
else. So.
Certainly than any other cartridge, maybe everything else put together.
Probably close.
But a 30-30 is good. After 150, 200 yards, it's got so much drop. This round sort of gives you that ballistics, but a much flatter. It just seems to be a great round. So.
Yeah. So and I know that was a big question. Will it work? So clearly it does.
Yep, absolutely. So you can check that out on Truth About Guns article about that kill that the Wilsons had.
Yeah, we just posted that up today, so you can click the link through our site, our Facebook page as well.
So, all right. Unfortunately, we had a couple of bad things that happened because here in St. Louis, the past week or so, we had a couple of officers make the ultimate sacrifice. So, one was actually a retired officer.
Yeah.
Been retired 10 years, is it my understanding?
He was 10 years,
PD?
and he, was just doing his daily business, just trying to live life.
And I think it was it 3 guys that were involved in that? So,
terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Now, they do have them, and they have been charged, so that's good. At least we have them. They're not still out and running around.
We as a society, we got to figure this out where it's okay to inflict harm on people for their stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't it doesn't make any sense.
No.
I mean, we already give enough people enough free stuff.
So, yeah, I don't know. Apparently, this was a robbery that went wrong, and I don't know. But our condolences with the officer's family. Even he was retired. Probably half of the force knew the guy personally because he'd been there for 30 years before retiring. So
right.
That's always tough. So.
Yeah.
And then we had another officer that fell off a bridge, or
so I guess he jumped from the bridge and there's
over the wall.
Didn't realize that there was a separation over the wall down to the next level down. And it's been kind of loose on the whole what exactly happened, but it sounds kind of like he missed the jump and the 2 guys he was chasing after did not. They do have both of those guys as well. I want to say they're like 16 and 17, something like that. So,
and it's my understanding when you're running from police, if a police officer gets hurt or injured, then you get additional charges from that occurring. So,
and rightfully so.
Yeah,
you may not agree with the police. I get that. I understand. But if you don't fight back, the escalation of force doesn't happen. And it's the escalation of force, which, just like we're told that we can protect ourselves, you can protect yourself from a threat, and only up until that threat is stopped. So if the threat stops early, you don't have to shoot them. It goes the same way for the police officer. If he says freeze, that doesn't mean take off running. That's not like a timer.
Well, and that's a good example of things that we teach in CCW. Because we teach you that use of force, whether you carry the gun or not, if you have the firearm when you keep in your vehicle in your home, you're only allowed to use force under the law to the point where the threat of harm or injury to you is neutralized. After that,
right.
you don't get to continue to use force. It doesn't matter what the other person's done or anything else. So once that threat's neutralized, then you have to draw down, I guess, or pull back from it. And that's a lot of what we teach in CCW. It's not just about the concealed carry law. It's about use of force in general, and that's a very important part of that. So just want to put that in there. So officer, I don't know if he didn't know, did he not realize there was a gap there, or did he just misjudge it, or we don't know?
Exactly. I don't know, and unfortunately he's not around to ask, but it sounds to me like he didn't quite realize there was one. Whether he didn't realize the jump was as big as it was, or that maybe he just thought it was just 2 curbs on the side, 1 bridge.
Right. Okay. All right.
Unfortunately, we can't get into his head anymore.
That's right. All right. On another note, had a conversation last week with a customer who was being followed in his truck, U City area, being followed in his truck, and he made a really smart decision. He didn't go home.
Correct.
A lot of people look at home as a safe place to get to, and unfortunately, if you're going home, usually it's either your family that's there, which now you're bringing the bad guys to your family, or there's nobody there, which now it's just you and the bad guys. So he did the smart thing. He did not go home, drove to a more populated area. Bad guys ended up going somewhere else, trying to pick a softer target. So he did the right thing, so kudos on him. Situational awareness, realized somebody was following him. So if you find yourself in that situation, don't try to hurry to your car if you're in a parking garage, or don't try to hurry home. Get to a more populated area where there's more people. If you can drive to a police station, a well-lit quick stop that's in a good area, places where there's going to be lots of other people. Bad guys typically want to do the stuff they want to do without a lot of witnesses, so they're typically going to disengage. If you think you're being followed in your vehicle, just find a place where you can take 4 consecutive right-hand turns that puts you right back on the road, basically make the block. And if the car is still behind you, then they're following you, or they are just really, really lost. Chances are they're following you. So,
and either way, having them, if they're going to continue to follow, because if they followed you around 4 rights, they're going to continue to follow you. Have them follow you to a police substation. QTs are great for that. Well-lit area.
Yep.
Cops constantly in and out. Panic buttons inside.
And they can get help to find out where they're supposed to go.
Have been through the training on that. Now, there's plenty of other places beyond just a QT.
You just advertise for QT.
I'm not advertising for QT. I'm just advertising for people to know that there's a QT all over the place. There's a mobile all over the place.
He always advertises for QT.
Hey, you know, if you got a big parking lot, lots of cameras and lots of lights, lots of cops
and
showing up.
And people there 24 hours a day.
I'll promote you to. Like, go to one of these places. Don't go to the mall. That's a bad idea.
Parking
but
garages
don't go
are not
to
a
your
good
neighbor's
idea.
house because, oh, well, screw that guy. No. Go to a well-lit area. Go to a place that cops frequent. Some people may not necessarily want to get cops involved by going to a police station. Cool. Go to a place that the cops might be there. You're not bringing them to the police station. You're just bringing them to a place that is popularly a cop shop, as they call them. So have that wherewithal of knowing what's around you, what's going on.
Situational awareness, paying attention to what's going on around you. So,
if you have questions, we have training.
Yep. Well, I have to answer your questions. You can call us at 636-220-1300, online, therangeSTL.com, or you can email us at phil@therangeSTL.com. All right. All right, so next month, this is the end of the month, so next month.
Next month, lots of fun stuff.
Thanksgiving. Deer season, Black Friday.
Deer season, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, weekend. So we got some fun stuff. We already got some sweet deals pulled out.
I need to know what you guys are going to do for Black Friday before you start telling everybody.
I know, yeah. So we're not going to tell you now, but stay tuned because we do have some fun stuff. Flash sales, you got to stay up on top of the flash sales. I know, like yesterday and Monday we had $100 off M&Ps.
It's still going on today, isn't it?
No, it's Mondays and Tuesdays.
It's done?
Yeah.
Okay. Done. All right. So you missed that. Never mind. Forget about that.
Unless you come in and say that you heard it here and John said so, and then we'll find ways around that.
Don't say that. All right. So we got stuff going on for Black Friday that we're not going to talk about yet.
Right.
Also, next week I've got some really big news regarding SIG that I want to announce next week. So I'm going to hold that till next week until I get the official word on that. So, but lots of good stuff going on at the range. We're already starting to plan for next year.
Yep.
More events, more stuff going on. more stuff with the mob, the stuff that you get free when you're a member. So we're working on that as well. So lots of good stuff coming down the pipe for 2019. The older I get, the faster time goes by.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
So
it's unfortunate.
I know, I was going to say.
Same.
I'm just one in the room.
You're what,
Right.
like 22?
23!
23. Oh my
Some of us
goodness.
have work experience that's that long.
I got boots that are older than hers, so.
He likes to make movie references, and I'm like, that movie's older than I am.
We're gonna force you to watch like all the popular 80s and 90s movies so we can actually communicate.
Predator.
You just finally watched it.
Hey, I mean, John, it took her 2 years of working here before she shot full auto for the first
I'm
time.
not sure he knew that.
I just found out Adam just shot full auto for the first time. Customer,
he's been here 2 months.
Customer appreciation. Yeah, 3 months.
3 months, okay.
He's still a guy that's done a lot of shooting. Said he's never done it. If you haven't done it, come out.
See, I take that for granted. I mean, I wasn't in the military, I was in the Air Force, but so that we did, we had access to that stuff on a fairly regular basis, so I just sort of take it for granted, but a lot of people haven't, so.
It's just one of them things you gotta do it. It's
Oh, Jake's
it's
working
fun.
on another full auto gun for us. Jake is getting with our gunsmith, so we're gonna have another full auto rental here in the next couple weeks, I think.
That'd be
That
fun.
looks like it'll be a lot of fun, so.
Yeah, definitely looks like fun.
All right.
Don't forget Sim Challenge. Sim Challenge, $5 donation, and then get you anybody. Unless you're a member, then you get that one free.
And those are some pretty good prizes. You got a right-on magnifier, crossbreed
Yeah.
holster, proper bag, out the front knife, or flashlight, as you say. I haven't seen that out the front flashlight yet, but that'd be interesting to see.
Yep. Well, the
Enforced
like, you know,
flashlight.
the beam comes out the front.
So they're all out the
Unless
front,
you-
right?
Well, I guess not all of them though. You got them lantern
Well, that'd be a
style.
lantern. So, all right,
Yeah, I
that's
guess.
enough of that.
It is what it is.
All right.
Someone asked you a question. I'm going to make
Uh-oh.
you answer it so people stop asking it. Is Christopher no longer with TS? Is Christopher part of the range team?
I am part of the range team. I'm not saying anything against the tactical shit guys. Those guys are awesome. As far as competitively, there still may be some things that I'm doing with them guys. So not separated fully, but separated enough that I'm at the range now. So come see me here. We have lots of fun here.
And are you really wearing a Darth Vader outfit?
I'm wearing this is my Halloween shirt.
Sid was super excited about it.
Look at
It's
that.
a bad thing.
Yeah,
Sid,
it's sweet.
give you a thumbs up?
It's sweet.
That's it.
So,
You guys
well,
are-
we are happy to have you as part of the range team.
Cool.
So-
I'm happy to be here. A lot of fun so far. A lot more fun to come. And I know those guys are just doing goofball stuff over there still, so everything's good.
All right. Do you have a rant?
I don't have a rant.
Ron always says a
necessarily.
rant.
I mean, I've got plenty of rants, but we've heard my rants about the state of the current situation. Go out and vote.
Yeah.
Get your vote on.
So the rant is not enough people vote. It's your
Yes.
duty, your responsibility, as well as your right to go vote, so that your voice is heard on election day. So.
Yeah, if you're going to come out and whine and crab about this, that, or the next thing for the next 2 to 4 years, depending on which argument
Whatever
you
it
want to
happens.
have, could be up to 6. Who knows? Anyway, if you're going to complain about the guys that are doing stuff from the top level, you got to be involved in the process at the bottom level. And yes, your vote does count. I know there's 3 different ones for one situation, and they could all technically be passed, but then it's the one with the most votes, and then the stuff. You can't be involved if you're not involved. Get involved.
Well, that's an interesting point. So I was on 97.1 with Mark Cox this morning, talking about the medical marijuana.
Yep.
And I think you were referencing the 3
Yep.
different choices there and what that does to your right to buy a firearm.
Yes.
So,
Pay attention.
you know, under federal law, if you use medical marijuana, it doesn't matter if it's legal in your state or not. It's not legal at the federal level, and it's still, you're from a federal standpoint an illegal user of marijuana. So when you answer that question on a 4473, if you answer it correctly, yes, I do use marijuana.
Which you have to answer honestly.
You can't then purchase the gun. And if you answer it incorrectly, lie on it, that's now a crime because you lied on a federal form. So you got to keep that in mind. They are going to have to figure out all those rules because it's not just something that would affect Missouri. This already is Massachusetts and Colorado and Utah and California. There's lots of states where this is an issue,
right.
and they're going to have to figure that out. But
and the medical
in the meantime,
stuff, I mean, and there's plenty of studies that are coming out that show that there is a medical use for it. So, okay, cool. Let's get it to a point where we can actually get some sort of realistic money spent on finding out, does this really work? I've heard plenty of stories about all those things. CBD
lots of anecdotal
has been a really big thing here lately, but I would like to see some real, honest proof from actual scientific studies. And unfortunately, as it is now still a controlled substance and under the schedule, it's a scheduled drug, you can't have all that scientific testing. So I think, it's one thing to get things going in the right direction. Be careful the way all three of those are worded. One keeps it open and keeps it regulated by I think it's the FDA. One is some sort of a new magical guy that's going to take over and control everything. This doesn't sound like a good idea, at least to me. And then the other one, I don't think they have figured out who's going to regulate it. Well, a couple of them are constitutional amendments, which presents its own can of worms if you amend the Missouri Constitution. Yeah.
The other one does not amend the Constitution, but puts it through from a legislative standpoint. Anyway, Mark Cox, if you go to 971 Mark Cox, he's got a voter's guide on all this. He sort of helps explain all that and all the other things that are going on in the election on Tuesday. So go vote, and once you vote, come shoot for free. If you want a firearm, one of the SIG We the Peoples, you get 15% off, other guns 5%. All you got to do is have your I voted sticker. So,
with the 1776 on the inside.
Yep. It's just a cool looking gun, that finish that they put on it.
And I mean, it feels good. It looks good. It's got to be good, right? And saving money. Just think. That's nice.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Again, if you got questions, you want to see Chris here at the range, just come by the range, 410-803 Manchester Road. Online at therangestl.com, 636-220-1300. That's going to wrap it up. Are you ready?
See you guys next week. I'm ready. I'm always ready.